The Xiaomi Mi A1 was the first collaboration between Android and Xiaomi. It was Xiaomi's first take on the Android One project, and it paid off pretty well for the Chinese company. With the Mi A2, the company is trying to emulate similar success as its predecessor by offering good specs at a mid-range price. So let's find out how the Xiaomi Mi A2 stacks up against its competition. Right off the back, I have to say that the Mi A2 feels very premium. The slim, light and sleek body with the metallic back looks great. Now, even though its counterparts like say the Oppo F9 or the Nova 3i come with glass back or uniquely designed backs, the device has followed the footsteps of the A1 for the back material. The metal back also has its advantages as the glass backs are very fragile. So overall, along with the design and the fact that it is very thin and lightweight, has impressed me a lot. Up front, you get a 6-inch IPS LCD panel. Like with every phone at this price range, you get a full HD Plus resolution and an 18:9 aspect ratio. The display here is sharp, but since I recently reviewed the Oppo F9 and the Nova 3i, you could easily notice that it's not quite bright and it obviously suffers under sunlight as well. Talking about the colors here, well, it is not that accurate and looks a bit dull for me. So if you are someone who's into multimedia experience on your smartphone, you might want to look somewhere else. The plus point, however, is the protection. With the Gorilla Glass 5 at home, it hasn't suffered from any major scratches during my 1 month of use. The camera is the aspect where the Mi A2 truly shines. It features a dual camera setup at the back, which is a combination of 12 plus 20 megapixel sensors. Now, the Mi A1 was not that good of a camera phone, but with the Mi A2, it proves that it has improved in the camera department considerably. So let's take a look. Here are the samples I took from 4 different smartphones, including the Mi A2. The Mi A2 definitely comes out on the top on a lot of scenarios, and considering its price tag, the camera performance is very impressive. The secondary camera on the rear side helps with better low-light images due to its wide aperture. And that's definitely the case here, as the pictures look true to life and they are colorful, aren't they? The portrait shots from the rear cameras will also impress you. They have good edge detection and the amount of blur looks natural in them. But to get better portrait shots, the subject must be at a suitable distance from the camera and there must be a fair amount of light. Portrait images in low light settings lack proper edge detection and overall images do not look very appealing. As for the selfie camera, the Mi A2 has received a huge upgrade over its predecessor. It has a 20 megapixel camera at the front, and not only the megapixel count is high, it also promises better quality in images. As you can see in these samples, they speak for themselves. The selfie camera also has a portrait mode, which is purely software. However, it is not that great as the back camera, as it fails to detect the edges properly. In terms of videography, the Mi A2 can shoot 1080p and 4K videos at 30 FPS. The phone lacks OIS, but it does have EIS to make up for it. EIS does a better job while shooting 1080p videos, but it fails to work while shooting in 4K. The software here is a pure form of Android. Yes, there are some pre-installed MI apps, but apart from that, the phone looks very clean. This is exactly what I like. It's currently on the Oreo 8.1 and Xiaomi has already promised the Android Pie update. I did receive an update for software improvements, but Android Pie is still not here. I was expecting this device to be one of the first to get the Android Pie update, but that is not the case here. Now, the performance. Xiaomi smartphones excel in performance aspect and the Mi A2 is no exception. This phone truly rocks with the Snapdragon 660 chipset. Combine that with a strong Android, it easily handles almost all the tasks thrown at it. Running and multitasking light apps and games is blazing fast. The apps and games open and load quite fast after you start them. It can also run high-end games smoothly too. I played high-end games like Dead Effect 2, Overkill 3, Asphalt 9 and Galaxy on Fire 2, and all of them ran pretty well. And yes, if you're wondering, it runs PUBG in medium settings and without any lags or stutters. And if you compare the Mi A2 against other smartphones of this price range, you will see that it excels more than the others, and one of the examples are these benchmarks. The GPU also stands out as the Adreno 512 GPU is quite a bit faster than its competitors. In terms of RAM and storage, there are several variants available. The review unit I got had 4 GB of RAM and 64 GB of onboard storage, and note that you don't have a micro SD card slot here, so expanding memory any further is not possible. And 64 GB storage is enough for me, but it might not be enough for some. Also, the phone does not have the 3.5mm headphone jack, so I was forced to use the USB Type-C to 3.5mm headphone jack dongle to connect it with my headphone. The dongle, by the way, which comes with the phone is very tiny, and yes, I have misplaced it quite a few times. And there is also the hassle of carrying it around all the time. Other than that, I am fairly impressed with the connectivity on this handset. I did not face any issues while browsing the internet on both the Wi-Fi and mobile data. And talking about phone calls, I used both the NTC and Ncell SIM cards on the phone, and the cellular reception and the call quality was great. Another thing that I did not like about the Xiaomi Mi A2 is the battery. Massive batteries on its phones have always been Xiaomi's forte, but that lacked in the Mi A1 and it's not there in the Mi A2 as well. But this time, you got to blame the slim and trim design of the phone. The phone comes with a relatively smaller 3010 mAh battery, which struggles to provide a backup for a day on normal use. Initially, during my review period, the battery on this device used to get drained really fast, and after some time I found out that this issue was because of a bug in the fingerprint scanner. So with this bug, the CPU gets clocked at a maximum speed and it consumes more power. After knowing about the bug, I disabled the fingerprint sensor, and since then I have not encountered such severe battery drainage issue, but still the phone does not provide you a backup for an entire day, and this problem might be fixed with a later software update, but as of now there's no word for it. And talking about the battery charging time, the phone gets fully refilled in 1 hour and 45 minutes with its 5V 2A stock charger. As the phone claims to support fast charging, I tried charging it with other fast chargers, but I did not find any significant difference in the charging speeds. To sum it up, the Xiaomi Mi A2 is surely a great phone for this price. The capable chipset, good design, and remarkable cameras are one of the best things that this phone offers. And as far as stock Android goes, it surely is an icing on the cake. That being said, this handset is not perfect by any means. The average display, the smaller battery, the absence of 3.5mm headphone jack, and the micro SD card slot are some downsides that this phone offers. However, for $250 or Rs 31,000 in Nepal, this device is a good value for money. So that is all for the review of the Xiaomi Mi A2. Would you skip this one, or can you live with the downsides? Let us know in the comments below. Till then, I am Pratima Adhikari and I'll see you soon.